What's up, you guys? It's Michelle here. Thanks for joining me today and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my spread for next week, so stay tuned for a fun plan with me. Alright, I pulled out Summer Fun from Casthetic Plans to use this week. I've only used this book once and I absolutely love it, and I'll be sure to have my affiliate link in the description, and I always appreciate your support when you shop through that link at no extra cost to you. But I want to use this really pretty like aqua and kind of sand color under the sea vibes group, and I'm going to start out over here on the right with this double kind of gold glittery box. I'm going to go ahead and just do all of my function, and I'm doing a voiceover on this video because I'm in Memphis until tomorrow, and it is just never quiet in the house except for late at night, and then I'm too tired. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the voiceover for this so you guys don't have to hear tons of background noise. And obviously I added some lines to that using my larger Happy Planner stencil, and I'm going to go ahead and add this full box over here in the gold, and then layer this teal square. I love these colors. I think they're so pretty and soothing. And I'm kind of thinking about here adding another box onto this cluster, but decided against it. So I'm going to go ahead and add a box here in this lightish kind of greenish gray and trim the edge off there. And I'm outside in my car recording this voiceover, so you may hear some birds chirping and other background noise, but I figured it would be better to do it this way. And now I've got the teal color slender box. I'm going to layer off of that. I think that's all I need on that side. For the other side, I'm thinking about doing this smaller rectangular teal box, and I'm kind of moving it around right now, deciding where I want it. And then I love how it looks there, and I can have like an extra little something to write in for that day. And so I'm going to use the next size down in the teal and also a slender gold box on Thursday, and just trim those off as well so they don't go into the next day. I've been here in Memphis all week, so that's why I haven't been able to post as many videos. So I'm gonna get this one out today, and then I'll be back home tomorrow and back to my regular schedule. And now I'm just going to add some lines in this box using my regular Happy Planner stencil. These are available on the Happy Planner website, and I will include my Happy Planner affiliate link in the description as well. But I want to have lots of function for this week because next week is the week before I go to Florida for the Planning by the Beach conference, and it's in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and I'm getting so excited. I need to get together some table gifts, and I made my hotel and flight arrangements, but I need to also figure out what outfits I want to take and everything. So, and I'm adding a few here on Sunday. So it'll look really balanced. And now I want to go ahead and add some bullet points, and I'm going to do just the teal color. Since there's several of the larger boxes, I want in the gold, I want to go with the teal. So I'm going to put a couple up here on Monday, and then also some on Tuesday because I've got a live patron plan with me on Tuesday. And then over here, trying to figure out where would be best. So I'm putting them here first, but I did decide that on this day I also have that extra box, so I'm going to end up moving them over to Friday, because that just makes more sense. And then I can add a quote here or something decorative. Okay, and then 2 more up here on Sunday at the top. And so now I want to add some of this like under the sea kind of plant life. And I'm going to do, I did the teal on the other side. I'm going to do this kind of caramel sandy color on this side and trim it off where it looks like it's just kind of peeking on the page. And then I've got a little extra scrap that I'm going to add to this to help cover up that little where it says note printed on the page. Just lift that up and tuck that under there. So I've got a couple of different colors. And then these fish are so cute. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to have a fish. So for some reason I like, if it's an animal or whatever I'm doing on the left side of the page, I like it to be facing toward the right, and usually vice versa. So I found the fish going this way, and now I'm thinking about adding a little friend with them, but changed my mind and decided to do it down here at the bottom. And then I can go ahead and add a starfish. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off the fish and then figure out where I want to have more of the fish in the spread. So over here on the right, I'll have them swimming the other way. So I'm going to try this one here along with another one kind of staggered. I'm not putting these all the way down though because I'm not quite sure yet about that. I don't know if I'm thinking I want to have a quote up there too. So now I'm going to use some of these beautiful seashells up in like a little cluster in the sidebar. And this little tiny one will fit perfectly in with these. Aren't those pretty? And then I've got another different, or it's kind of like the small one, but it's bigger. I'm going to put it kind of going the other way, just partially on the page, and fill up the sidebar. Found that little smaller one I wanted to do at the bottom. And here's where I decided I don't want to have 2 fish up there because I do want to have some room for quotes. And speaking of quotes, there aren't any quotes in this book, so I'm pulling out the Live, Love, Posh Summer Elements because there's some really pretty summer quotes in here and lots of them. So I had thought of this one already, make a wish on a starfish. Since we have starfish in the spread, it goes perfectly, and I like how big it is. So I'm thinking about whether I want to put it over to the left, but I decided to put it here on the right side of the left page. And I didn't like that extra open spot, and I didn't want to do a bunch more decorative things right next to where that fish and that starfish are, so I decided to move the bullet points down, and then maybe I'll have room for a quote up top, a smaller quote. And then in another summer book from Live, Love, Posh, I found this Saltwater Heals Everything, which also goes perfectly with this vibe. And then look how cute that fish looks swimming towards that. So that's when I decided to move these bullet points down to the middle. And I think it looks more balanced like that anyway. So here is the fish. And I decided to do the larger fish kind of swimming onto the page. Now I'm trying to figure out where to put one of these seashells. What I decided on this is it's a lot of that teal color. The fish are mostly teal, and then we have that box, so I wanted something more in the lighter shade. So I'm playing around with this, the idea of this seahorse first of all. And see how that looks so much better just to have that little bit of that different color to break up all that teal. So we'll do the starfish here and just trim that off. I was kind of trying to figure out where to put the scraps, but I decided over here by this little seashell cluster would be good. And then there's where I bring that seashell that I had earlier back where I had originally started to put it. Trim that off, and I think the sidebar is looking really cute, and I want to go ahead and start adding some things at the bottom, so I'll put that here. And here's where I decided I wanted to, for balance, I wanted to have some more of that aqua teal plant over here. So I'm just going to use part of it so I can still write on these lines and trim that off. And then I did save a scrap from that I can use later. And then I'm really wanting to use this little seahorse, and I don't think I ever used it, that or the jellyfish. So now I'm going to put this scrap that I took up, I'm going to trim a little bit of it off and have some of it on the side of this box. I think that looks cute. And then this is another one of those pretty seashells. I really, really love those. So I cut that into two different pieces, and I'm trying it out here and lifting up the little seahorse again. I'm going to try him over here with the seashells. And I think this is the last. These are paper, and there's also a page of, there's 2 pages of each, one in paper and one in clear. So right now is where I realized I had completely forgotten about all of those flowers there with the, you know, all of those colors in them. And I'm kind of glad I didn't remember them until now, because I really like how it came together where the flowers are just sort of like a little accent. And I was trying out that sailboat. It's so pretty, but it's just too big for that spot. So I'm going to do just a little bit more pieces of the flowers and leaves here on the bottom to fill in. Just go ahead and cover up that last line there, so the heights kind of vary and it just looks more interesting. So I've got another little scrap I'm going to use here by the seashell, and I want to go ahead and fill in all the way across the bottom, except for I'm not going to cover up that quote that says keep discovering who you're meant to be. So here's another piece of that, and I'm just trimming off parts of it, and then of course turning it and using the other parts in other places so that I don't waste very much of it. And then I've got a good size scrap up here that I'm going to put above this quote. It just fits in there perfectly. And this is a tiny seashell scrap that I was holding on to just to kind of break up the flowers some, so it's not all flowers. Then I'm going to trim this down so it will fit over here. And now I'm looking for a quote to go up on Monday, like a small quote. There weren't any that went with the vibe in the Live Love Posh books I was using, so this is one that I actually lettered the shine part of it that I've had just in my little quotes book, and this is another one I made from Cricut Access, the Rise and Shine, and then the Beach Vibes Only is from Cricut Access, and there's that scrap from that other side. And I want to go ahead and finish my border at the top, so it'll just be a couple of more pieces will do it. Then this is another piece, another scrap that I decided to kind of cut for the corner there. And that just fits in there perfectly. And now that side's almost done. Got a little bit more to put up here by this fish. And we need a small piece here. So I'm just going to trim off what I need, because I don't want it to go onto the box since it's paper. So I'll just trim that teeny part off, which it doesn't look bad, but it just kind of bugs me. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that part off. And then this, I just haven't been happy with the way this looks the entire time it's been there. So I'm going to take that up and put another seashell up here. And take up the little seahorse. I'll use it on another spread though. It's so cute. And then I was wondering if the clear stickers that are just like these would look okay, and I think it looks totally fine. So I'm going to put that there, and I love how that sort of balances everything out. And then I'm going to grab this starfish that's also clear and just do it right there. I want to be sure it's not turned exactly the same way as the one there on the right. Now I just need a few little finishing touches. Now that I've discovered the clear looks fine with the paper, I'm just going ahead and adding some things here and there. And with the scraps of that, I'm going to just use a little bit here to border across underneath that quote. Let's cut that apart and use what will fit there perfectly. And then with what's left of that, we'll have a little bit left just to fill in right there. All right, and then I've got a little bit to go here, and that completes our border. I want to go ahead and add just a few black words. So we'll do today here, and then to do right here on Thursday. I don't want to add a lot of them because the quotes are pretty substantial, and get it done here. And then I added one over here, but it was out of frame, don't forget, and then added one more line. These are some really old flags I found just in my little bullet points book, my DIY collection of bullet points and flags in this mint green. So I'm adding one there, and then one over here on this larger gold. And I want something there, a little something decorative, so I'm trying out these clear seashells. I'm so glad I decided to add the clear because I feel like it really needed more of the decorative elements. So there's that, and a super cute little one. And now I'm thinking I need a little something underneath that rise and shine quote because it's just a little bit too much extra white space. And that's going to be my spread for next week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I put it together. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!